You clicked on this video because you want to know where the best home prices are in Utah. Now, there's a lot of things that go into that factory as far as lifestyle, commuting, the size of the house that you're going to get, the type of land that you're going to get. All of that goes into understanding where the best price and the best location is for homes in Utah, all coming up in this video. Hi, my name is Jenny. If you're new to my channel, hit that subscribe button. We learn all about things in Utah and understanding where's the best place for you to buy a home. So make sure you subscribe so you can get more information. And until then, let's jump into the video. The four topics that we're going to be covering today is the affordability for first-time homebuyers in the suburb areas. 2, the best cities in Utah County for their value. 3, the hidden gems that have the affordability in the cities in the desirable locations in Utah. 4, the affordable cities up in Salt Lake City and the up-and-coming cities in the northern areas of Utah. And a bonus one at the very end, if you stay to the very end, we're going to be talking about the best areas for investments in Utah County in affordability. First one we're going to be going over is the affordability of understanding for first-time home buyers and the best areas to buy for first-time home buyers. The affordability in suburb areas for particularly first-time home buyers. A suburban area is typically known as an area that doesn't have a high mass population. What that means for a first-time home buyer is that you can actually get what is called a rural development loan that helps you with the down payment of that home to be able to purchase a home in that particular area. These areas have to meet credibility in the city as far as populations and mass density. Saratoga Springs used to be one of those. In fact, I had a ton of clients get these types of loans, but now that Saratoga Springs population has increased, it's no longer part of the rural development area. But places like Eagle Mountain are still considered in some areas. You have Fairfield, you have Tooele, and you have other outskirts areas that are desirable but have lower populations, and so they will give you these first-time down payment assisted loans in order to go buy a home in there, which is a great opportunity for someone who's a first-time home buyer. But let's talk about the cities that you should be paying attention to. I'm going to bring your attention over to my screen over here. We have got the cheapest places to live in Utah on the Property Club website. So really, Utah is known for having a good balance as far as what is going to be expensive and what's not going to be expensive, because there can be some really expensive areas. We've got Park City that's very expensive. You've got Midway and Heber, which are up and coming, very expensive. You still got Salt Lake, which can be expensive, but the cheapest areas are going to be away from those areas. So if you're wanting to have a cheaper area, you've got to know that location is going to be the variable factor. Vernal is on the #1 charts in being the cheapest city in the area. On Google Maps, I just want to show you where Vernal is at. As you can see here, the main website's photo from that article we're looking at is literally something in Vernal City. Now, I honestly have never been to Vernal City. I know people who live in Vernal City, and it is a very quaint, small area with very low prices as far as renting and living costs. You do compromise location. So as you can see here, here is Provo, here is Salt Lake City, and Vernal is over here about an hour away from all of that. Again, I know people who live there. They've got great traditions over there. They've got a great 4th of July parade that they do over there that's actually become very popular. So Vernal is going to be your #1 cheapest place to live. Then as you can see here on this list, you've got Roosevelt, you've got Sunset, you've got Logan. I just sold a house in Sunset. Sunset is up and coming for sure. It's by the I-15 up there by Kaysville. And then you have got Ogden. So most of this top half right here is definitely up north in the northern areas of Utah. So if you look up here, here is Ogden, here is Layton, here is Logan up here, very up in the top corner of Utah. Now they're great areas to live in. The conveniences are still going to be there. You're going to get your local conveniences that you need. But let's talk about the prices of these areas. So down here, we've got Vernal. Like I said, it's about 10,000 people. An average price is $260,000 of value of those homes. Now that is typically true, but we're going to compare it to what the MLS is saying as well after this. Roosevelt, you've got about 310 as far as living costs and prices there. They've got 6,000 people in Roosevelt. Roosevelt is a great small town as well. Most of these towns are still going to be very populated with high Christianity, so your crime rates are going to be lower. Sunset here, you got 366 here. These are going to be smaller houses, and they're all going to be older houses. They are small towns, so you're not looking at new development out there. I haven't heard of new subdivisions out there in Vernal. I haven't heard new subdivisions out in Sunset, especially in Sunset. They're definitely outgrown their land. It just happens to be the armpit of Kaysville, so it has lower price as well. So it doesn't have as much of a nicer city feel and look. It's closer to the railroad tracks, if you get the idea of that. So these are some of your areas as far as cheapest locations are. Logan is actually a popular one, but there are different pockets of safety and crime issues in Logan. So if you are moving to Logan, you got to really know what areas and what streets you're wanting to live on. And that's something I can help navigate you through where in Logan that you want to live, because there's definitely lots of different pockets that are going to be higher crime than other ones. So it's literally 10% lower than the statewide average for family. You need only make $68,000. Where in Utah, the census is over $100,000 in order to actually compete with the average home price. So you can see it's much lower. Ogden's the same way as Logan. You're going to have pockets of safety and crime that you're going to have to pay attention to. But again, you're looking at a home price of $387,000. These are definitely more affordable. If you've seen my last video talking about what a house costs in Utah, that is significantly lower than the average home in Utah. So Ogden lower, these are all in the northern areas. Then you get down here to Cedar City, okay? Cedar City is way down south. She's about 4 hours from Salt Lake City. You can pass Nephi, you pass Fillmore, you pass Beaver. Then down here you get Cedar City, and it's close to St. George, as you can see here on the map. So here's Cedar City. You got the Enoch, also is an up and coming city. Prices are getting up there a little bit more expensive for sure. As you can see here, we're around the $403,000. Again, because St. George is getting so expensive, people are moving to Cedar City. It's the same thing that's happening in Park City. People are wanting to move to Heber City because Park City is getting too expensive. A lot of this is happening. So, example, Lehigh is getting too expensive, so people are moving to Saratoga. Saratoga is getting too expensive, so people are moving to Eagle Mountain. Eagle Mountain now into Fairfield. If you want to look at my video that I showcase literally 1,000 homes that they're going to be building over there in Fairfield, which are absolutely incredible. The prices are definitely competitive with an average home price in Utah, which is around $550,000 to $600,000, just to keep that in mind. But you might be able to get a first-time buyer loan for the rural development. Just know there's caps on what you can actually qualify for on those loans as well. So Cedar City's down south, Tremont's down south. It's way up north, up by the Utah-Idaho border. So as you can see, when you look at the map right here, we've got the Wasatch Range up here where all the green is at. And this is where your predominant cities are. So your cheapest cities are definitely not going to be in those predominant areas. Now, Tooele is a really great up-and-coming city. She is about 30 to 40 minutes away from Salt Lake. A lot of these are, you just look at the map, it just depends on what angle you're coming at. So, Layton and Logan are obviously north of Salt Lake. And then you've got over here your Tooele, which is west of Salt Lake. Where is that at? Okay. There you are, Tooele. So Tooele is also an upcoming city. Because of the land potential that they have over there. I have sold multiple homes over there as well. There's also really neighboring cities that are very popular. Grantsville is a good one, and Stansbury Park seems to be a very popular place for people wanting to move to get more of a lifestyle. They have more lakes over there. You've got more trails over there. So whereas Tooele is a flat land where you're not getting a lot of water, Stansbury actually attracts a lot of people because there's a lot of lakes over there as well. So they're beautiful areas. Again, here's Salt Lake City. You're about 45 minutes. This commute, some people like and prefer just because you're not dealing with the heavy traffic that is coming on the I-15. You're now driving the I-80 instead. Now let's jump over to an article which talks about the 10 most affordable places to live in Utah. So we talked about the cheapest ones. Now let's talk about the most affordable ones. And I love this one. It's by Upgraded Home. It was published in 2021, so she's a little older. Prices have changed since then for sure. But right here, we're seeing that they're saying the average rent is $622. It's definitely much higher than that. It's probably around the 800s now. We've definitely gone a little bit higher than 2021. 2020 was the highest peak of actually prices. Speaking of price is a great place to live, and it actually is around your national parks. Price is down south near Cedar City, as well as you can see here the how home prices, they're saying $138,000. I'm going to see those are closer to $200,000 nowadays. West Valley City is an amazing opportunity if you're looking for lower pricing as well for a great location. The reason why is if you look over here on the maps, your West Valley City is still very much central to the areas and the transit systems. West Valley City happens to be the armpit of the west side of the freeway. So there's always something to be said about the west side of the freeway, because those who are on the east side of the freeway have the Wasatch Range. That's where first people started to settle. That's where expensive prices are going to be coming, as far as Draper and Murray. And you got Sandy over there. People like the east side. The west side is wonderful, though. You do have the cotton copper mine over there, which makes the soil a little bit uneasy, but West Valley's far enough away that you don't need to worry about that. West Valley and Magna happen to be really good central locations because you're only 30 minutes away from Salt Lake City and even 20 minutes away from something you need to do down in Sandy or somewhere in the central areas. And the home prices are significantly different than if you were to buy on the east side of the freeway. So we are seeing a lot of people want to jump over to those areas in order to take advantage of those low prices. So as you can see here, the medium home prices in West Valley, around $199 is what they're saying. I would beg to differ. It's around $215 now. Now that is for basically a trailer park, something very simple, a condo. We're not looking at a beautiful single family home, with some land over there. You can get a single family home with some land over there. It just is going to cost you more. Now, West Valley also has a higher crime rate than the rest of the valley. It just, again, it depends on what kind of pockets you're looking for, which is why it's not a city I have highlighted quite yet. But it is attractive to those who can't afford cities around it and still want to be in the central area as far as transportations and getting to their jobs. Now let's look over here. It looks like Hiram number 3 on the top 10 most desirable places as far as affordability. I've honestly probably only driven through Hiram. It's a very small city. The population is 8,000, but if you look over here on the maps, it's between Brigham City and Smithfield and Tremont. Very small town. Hiram does have a beautiful lake. I believe it's man-made as well, but it definitely gives you that small town feeling. So if you're noticing a trend that either they have a higher crime rate or it's a smaller town with less conveniences, but they're still having low home prices over there. And you can also check with me and a lender to see if they're on the rural mapping and be able to get rural development down payment assisted loan. So these are some good options to be paying attention to if this you're trying to do a first-time home buyer. Number 4, they brought up Sunset. Sunset we've already talked about. It's a great area. If you ask me, the crime is going to be a little bit higher. The quality of the city is going to be a little bit different. Your houses are going to be much older. They're going to be much smaller. They've kind of been landlocked out of land, so they don't have the ability to be able to grow anymore. So they have with what is there. But I'll tell you, there's great foliage there. They've got great large trees because the homes are older. I just sold a home under 2,000 square feet over there. Sold for a great price because you've got smaller homes that are sitting on lots of land, and it is close to the I-15. So it makes sense why Sunset is a desirable city to live in for an affordable living. Okay, let's keep going down. Roosevelt, I think we talked about Roosevelt, great city to live in. Very high predominant Christian people living there. A great place to live. You can see here they're saying population is 7,000 people. You've got the average median price of $188. I would knock that up to about $200,000 nowadays. And let's see, Taylorsville is a great one that we haven't really talked about. Taylorsville is a good one. Let's just look this one up. Taylorsville is in Salt Lake City County. It's really right next to West Valley. So you've got the West Valley, Taylorsville, and Magna. I know some people who live in Taylorsville and they absolutely have nothing bad to say about it. You are going to see older homes. They are going to be a little bit bigger than places like Sunset and like Magna, but it's a great location. I'm actually really surprised that this one's not on the top 3 for it. It's probably because it's just a little bit more expensive than your average ones that they were showing. So you can see the median prices around the $220,000 to $240,000 price range. There are homes in Taylorsville that will sell around the $550,000 to $600,000 because you can get larger homes over there. But just notice the location over here is you're definitely seeing the Salt Lake City really close right here to the I-15 and be able to get to where you need to go to. Let's move on. I feel like we've completely exhausted a lot of these. If you're interested in the articles, please reach out. Roy is another great city. Familiar with Roy, have family members that live in Roy. These are all going to be suburban, rural cities that give you smaller homes, maybe larger lots, but for a better price range for sure. So we didn't talk about the ones down south. Spanish Fork is really known for its cute family area. It's definitely an up and coming city. So when I say up and coming, I mean the prices are on the rise because you have a lot of new homes coming in. So you got your developers who are subdividing the areas and are definitely pricing those to be able to grow the city. So if you're looking at an older home, it's definitely on the map of being affordable on the lower prices. But if you're looking for a newer home, she's definitely going to be up there with a competitive median price between $500,000 and $600,000 for sure. Again, you can't let go of Eagle Mountain. Eagle Mountain is still a great city to be living in. I live in Eagle Mountain. I'm filming this video in Eagle Mountain, and I absolutely love Eagle Mountain. People do not like Eagle Mountain because of the commute that you have to drive to get to the I-15. Whereas Spanish Fork and Eagle Mountain are about the same distance from Salt Lake City, but the difference is one, you're driving on I-15 longer, and the other one, you have to get to I-15. So I'm about 15 minutes away from the I-15. You can be 20 minutes if you live in an area called City Center. If you're familiar and want to know more about Eagle Mountain, I've actually done a highlight on Eagle Mountain with that link above, and I've also done a one on Spanish Fork with the link above as well, kind of showcasing the differences of the schools, the community, the lifestyles in each of those, because they are really up and coming cities, and I like to highlight them because they have low crimes and great schools and great communities. Let's jump over to number 3, our hidden gems, the areas that are affordable with potential for growth for sure. Jumping over to an article over here by Neighbor Blog, the best places to live in Utah. The state has obviously been famous. We have 5 national parks. We have 43 state parks in here. Diversifies of landscapes. You're going to get the red rocks. You're going to get the peaks of snow. You're going to get the beautiful waterfalls and the greenery. Utah is definitely turning more into a green area because we water our trees. It's funny that we're called a desert, but yet we get so much water throughout the winter. So it's just a very diversified as far as being able to hike and to be able to do what you want to do, but then you can ski, you can go boating, you can go camping, and pretty much anything you can desire to do outside, you can do it in Utah, which makes it one of the best places to live. But let's talk about the gems and the areas to live. We've definitely seen some of the cheapest places, also known as the gems. You're seeing the Logan and the Ogden. Again, those low crime rates, family-oriented cities there. Kaysville is another great one. You're going to get more land out there if you're interested in something like that. Salt Lake City within itself, you're going to get more of high-rise living. You're going to get the older homes, very quaint, small areas. Sandy, Highland, I just highlighted Highland if you're interested in that video above as well. Heber City is amazing. It's right next to Park City. It's really known for a lot of the land. There's a lot of farmers that still live out there. I personally am in love with Heber. If you were to look at the map over here, I will show you where Heber is at. It's probably one of my favorite areas because it's over there by Midway. Midway is my dream city to live in. And here's Midway right here, but then here you have Heber City. There's a lot of rolling hills and a lot of new development over here. You're looking at $1 million homes over there, but it definitely is a gem because it's cheaper than Park City because you're literally 30 minutes away from being able to hit the slopes if you live in Heber City versus in the busy way of Park City. So a lot of people are being pushed out to Heber City. In the last 20 years, Heber City has definitely grown tenfold. You're seeing multi-million-dollar houses over there, where before it used to just be the farmers farming their land in small, quaint areas. You're still going to get the small town city feel though, because they do have a main street. They support their artists and their local restaurants. It's a great place. You've got the Heber Trails over there. They have great holiday things going on. They have the Polar Express where you can actually get on there, and they have a whole theme oriented around children and singing and dancing. They have Halloween over on the trains. They do so many fun things over there that draws me over to Heber City for the lifestyle and be able to get out there in the mountains and to go four-wheeling and to go biking. So I absolutely am obsessed with Heber City. I love it. It's a great vacation place to get away as well. There's plenty of places and opportunities to buy cabins or rent Airbnb so you can just skip away where you don't have to pay the expensive prices in Park City. Provo, I've done a video on Provo, as you can see the link above as well. Provo is definitely a high transit city. It's like the second city to Salt Lake City, where as far as the infrastructures and the city feeling and the ins and outs of transportation systems and the fluidity of people moving in and out, because you've got 2 colleges around the neighboring areas. You've got the Brigham Young University right there in BYU, which brings over thousands and thousands of students in order to attend. So you've got definitely a high energy feeling over there of a city just like Salt Lake City. Then we've got Cedar City and St. George, which we've already talked about as well. Absolutely love Cedar City. I was just down there in a small town called Leeds. Great way to get away for your national parks. You've got the Zions, you've got Bryce Canyon down over there. You've got a ton of little waterfalls and places to go do. I absolutely am obsessed with Cedar City. My husband is from Cedar City. It's a very quaint, small area. You're going to get a smaller population for sure. They do have an airport down there in Cedar City, so you are able to fly up to Salt Lake if you need to, back and forth, because again, it's about 4 hours away from Salt Lake City and about an hour away from St. George. So those are your gems. We could talk a little bit more about what the gems are, and the reason why they are gems is a lot of it has to do with the medium home prices and the culture and the lifestyle. And here they're talking a lot about the temperature and just the temperature of living. So a lot of people in Utah will have vacation homes down south. So when the winter hits, they head down south and they stay in St. George or Cedar City during the winter, because you're still going to get the seasonal feeling down there of warmth and pools and fun, and you can run away from the snow if you want to get away. Whereas the exact opposite, if you want to rush into the snow, they're saying definitely Heber, Sandy, or definitely not, just Heber and Highland are great areas. Highland is definitely an amazing area for larger lots and larger homes. You're looking at $1 million homes over there in Highland as well. Again, I showcased that video. Temperatures are great. You're going to get the beautiful views of the mountains. You're going to get a quaint, quiet area with a older demographic for sure. Highland is definitely starting to be more of an older demographic as far as the type of people that are moving over there. All right, let's jump over to number 4, affordability suburbs of Salt Lake City and the up and coming areas of northern Utah. Is very similar to what we've already been talking about. One of them we did not mention is South Jordan. We did talk about West Valley, and we did talk about Taylorsville, Ogden, Roy, and Layton. Those are going to be your affordable upcoming cities. The reason why they're affordable and upcoming is because the appreciation of those homes are up on the rise. I bought in Eagle Mountain. Well, let's bring it back a little bit. I bought a home in Saratoga Springs about 4 years ago. And the reason why I did that is I wanted it to be an investment property, and I knew that it was an up and coming city. Since then, my appreciation in that home has really increased tenfold. So if you're wanting to get an appreciation to be able to grow in the city, these are the cities you want to grow into. South Jordan, Utah, West Valley City, Taylorsville, Ogden, Roy, and Layton are saying they're the best affordable homes that are the up and coming cities to be able to gain appreciation in those. Now, if I were to pick out of those homes that I would do, be able to get the commute time that I want to Salt Lake City or the I-15, to be able to get the lifestyle with low crime, and to be able to get the land that I want, I would definitely pick 2 cities out of those. I would pick South Jordan and Roy for sure. Roy is much smaller, much further out of the way, but it has got a quaint small town area and has a ton of potential to grow for sure. South Jordan is much more north, more central. It's on the west side of the freeway, and West Jordan has an amazing potential to grow. You've got what's called the Daybreak area over there, where they are building literally houses by the dozens, and they've got an HOA community over there, and they have built lakes upon lakes and trails. They're building a lifestyle over there. And so people buy into the lifestyle over there in South Jordan with Daybreak, which is absolutely beautiful. It's kind of got a Park City vibe to it in South Jordan, if you were to ask me. I probably should showcase that in another video. If you're interested in that, please leave a comment below and I can definitely showcase you more about what Daybreak is and what to expect from Daybreak. All right, and our special one, and our number 5 is the best investment spaces and places to live for affordability or to do an investment with. So if you're wanting to look at the population increase with the housing demand, with rental potential, these are the areas that you're going to want to be looking at, okay? Appealing to the family communities, appealing to whatever type of renter you're looking for, whether it's a student renter, or it's a family renter, it's a single person renter, it's a business renter. Definitely take into consideration some of these charms that are happening over here. Salt Lake City is always going to be one of your great investment opportunities. You're right there next to the airport. It's a very transient city. People are coming in and doing school. People are coming in and doing business. You've just still got family-oriented areas, and they are an upcoming rise as far as appreciation is concerned. Now, it is a more expensive area, but it definitely is still a great area for investment properties. Also for like a fix and flip, because they do have a lot of older homes in Salt Lake City, you can definitely take advantage of doing a fix and flip. In fact, I'm a fully equipped with the ability to teach you about fix and flip if you want to know more. And a lot of people are being pulled over to the areas of Taylorsville, of West Valley City, of Magna, and Salt Lake City, North and South Salt Lake City, to be able to do those fix and flips, because the opportunity is incredible, because the population is a lot more. The largest population is in Salt Lake City. You know, it is the city of Utah. So, I mean, the capital of Utah. So it just makes sense. You typically, when you're looking for investments, you're looking for the ROI, right? Your return on your investment. And so what I will do is and I work with investors a lot. It depends on how many units you want to buy. If you want to get a 4-plex, if you want to get 6-plex, if you want to get 11-plex. If you just want to get one unit and you want to fix and flip it, if you want to get a unit and you want to move into it and live there for 18 months to 2 years and then turn it into a rental, I can literally go over with you what would be the best demographic of area to live in. I have investors who've looked at Vernal, because Vernal is definitely on the #1 cheapest area, and the opportunity to be able to rent those and flip those places and then rent them out, because there are job opportunities over there. You kind of want to follow where the job opportunities are as well when it comes to doing investment properties. So Provo is a really great one, because there's a ton of small businesses out there that are trying to up and grow and hiring people. Lehigh is an amazing area. She is expensive because she is an up and coming city. She's been up and coming for about 5 years. So people always say, oh gosh, I wish I would have bought land in Lehigh back in the day, because it just grew tenfold so fast. But Lehigh still is a great opportunity for businesses coming in for rental properties. I wouldn't say so much for fix and flip, because I do have a lot of new builds over there. There's not a lot of older homes in Lehigh, because she's a newer town. Same thing with Saratoga and Eagle Mountain. They're newer cities. So if you want to do like a fix and flip, you need to find the older cities that do have the potential for businesses and supporting that demographic. This article talks about diversity and investment versatility, so making sure you're investing in different types of things to get your profile up and coming, and making so you're not all putting your stuff, all of your gems into one basket. Start spreading out. Do some fix and flips, do some rentals, buy some land, do other investments outside of real estate. Get your profile strong, and we can definitely sit down and talk about that if there's something you're interested in. Well, in fact, I'm talking so fast because I love talking about investments. Investments are like my favorite thing to talk about. I grew up with an investment father, and so I have it in my blood to be able to know about numbers and talking about ROI and what would be the best interest for you and your family, and for that wallet, because investments are always about the wallet, right? So again, here, as you can see, I would definitely stay closer more to either a city that is older, high population density, which is Salt Lake City, and the neighboring cities around that as well, which will be a lot cheaper, which is your Taylorsville, which is your South Salt Lake. Up north, you got the Sunset. Those are all going to be great places to invest as well. All right, you guys, that is the wrap of our video. I hope that you learned and gained a lot more about the demographics of Utah and where you might want to live for your next city. If you are interested in talking to me, please click the link below on the Calendly link, and I'll definitely get in touch with you to know when is the right time to move, how you should move, what location you should move in. Let's talk before 6 to 12 months before you buy a home. Send me a text, click up on that link, or call me. Do what you can to get a hold of me. And until then, guys, I'll see you in my next video.